Hello, I'm back. This time I'd like to tell you about my holiday to Kenya and Tanzania. It was a safari and a short break on the island of Zanzibar. This is a Holiday Inn where it all started, and this was lunch in, I don't know, it's sort of like a tree house, really, a very big one that had monkeys around the place. That's a vervet monkey there, hiding in the trees. And the first overnight place was the Samburu Game Lodge. There'd been quite a bad drought in Kenya, and the river you'll see in a minute, there it is quite low, as you can see. In fact, it was almost dry a week before we arrived, because it was the worst drought in over 100 years in Kenya. It's impala there, lots of impala. So there were quite a few animal carcasses, I'm afraid. Oh, a tortoise, yes, I didn't really expect to see one. The giraffe here, these are slightly different. These are called reticulated giraffe, and the patterns are slightly more geometric to the ones that you'll see later on. Here we have, oh, that was a leopard, it's gone already. And yes, two lions there. For some reason they didn't have manes. I don't know what the story was behind that. Yes, and yet another impala. What are they? No, not peacock. I'm not quite sure what they are. I can't remember. And oh yes, lots and lots of elephants. This was a big herd of elephants, just destroying everything in their path as usual. Don't know if you can see. There's another. Well, there you go. There's a bit more easy to see the leopard, and here it was. It was fantastically positioned here, posing in front of the camera. So that was a really good experience. Yeah, I love that picture. Interesting tree with vultures on it. And that is the oryx. I wish I could get a bit closer. That's a very clever animal. It can survive without water. It just lives off the water within the vegetation that it eats. There's a lizard there in the middle of the photo. I don't know if you can see it. This is the Samburu tribe here performing a dance. And coming up... Oh yes, we've got some baboons, a big family of baboons there were here. And yes, zebra. We all know what a zebra looks like. There's lots and lots of them. Yes, they're quite timid things. And these are called gerenux, another sort of antelope. I think it was a hornbill, that bird. Answers on a postcard if I'm wrong. And yes, this was outbound. We didn't actually stay here overnight. It's a very nice colonial looking place. And this was sort of the gateway to Treetops, if you like, which was the place where the Queen found out that she had become Queen. We had sort of mixed views on this. The inside was very nice. The outside was very odd. I don't know what you think of that. We asked sort of fellow travellers what they thought of the Treetops experience, and the answers ranged from naff, missable, and well, I described it as slightly surreal because we really didn't see very many animals there. I think that there we go. We've got one there. I think it just got lost. Oh yes, and of course we crossed the equator so many times. I think it was 5 times in all. And there was, yes, actually standing one leg in the north and one leg in the south. This is the Rift Valley, which goes on for thousands and thousands of miles, and it's probably of great interest to geologists. Oh yes, I love that. Don't scare the rock hyrax. At least it told me what it was, because I would never have known that animal. Now this is a nature reserve. It's called Lake Nakuru, and as you can see, because of the drought again, the lake is considerably smaller than it should be, and it's also a sanctuary for rhinos. They tend to breed them there because obviously the rhino is still very much an endangered species in Africa. There's one that's been rolling around in the mud by the looks of it. It's very dirty, that one. It's not a black rhino, it's actually a white rhino, but it's muddy. Yes, this was the hotel at Lake Nevasha. This is, again, you can see it's dried up a bit. Yes, a couple of... Oh, here are the 2 vans worth of Kuoni travellers on this particular safari, and this was the last of the hotels that we stayed in. That was the Hippo Pool, and this is actually in the Masai Mara, which I think most people have heard of, the probably most famous of all of the nature reserves in Kenya, very close to Tanzanian border. Yes, as you can see, it goes on and on. I think just the other side of that mountain is in fact Tanzania, I believe. Those are called hartebeest. And we've obviously got a lion here. And here in the rain, as you can see, there's lots of wildebeest going in the wrong direction. Oh yes, it absolutely poured down here, but we could see some cheetah just about. And here are two lion brothers who were just being very silly, just rolling around and acting the goat, really, as the sun was setting. Oh yes, this was another drive. This was the following morning, and found lots of lions, a whole family of lions, lionesses and lion cubs. And oh yes, the wildebeest still going in the wrong direction. They're supposed to go from Kenya to Tanzania, but don't know, they got lost. Oh, this was the Masai Mara tribe. And we all joined in the, in inverted commas, dancing. Oh, here got really fantastically close to the cheetah. The safari was actually called the Cheetah Safari, and it took a very long time to actually see them. I was actually quite concerned. Oh yes, here's a lion that had killed a buffalo. You probably noticed in my last video I said the lionesses all are hunting. Unfortunately, lionesses are actually unable to kill buffalo because they're just too big, so the lions kill those. Oh, there's a warthog there, my favourite. Didn't see too many warthogs this time. And a very lazy lion there. I don't know if it just eats... Oh, that's a toppy. That's a rather unusual animal. There, yes, this one of the, oh yes, some more. Oh, some hyena. These hyena are actually staring at the wildebeest. Perhaps they were wondering why they were travelling in the wrong direction, as indeed I was. But apparently that the driver was saying that wildebeest are a bit stupid, and they normally rely on the zebras to show them the way. Oh, and I love that photo, the vast expanse of the Masai Mara there. And they see that the pattern there on the giraffe, which is very different to the one that we saw. That's a common giraffe. That's the driver, Matenge, his name was. And that's Mount Kilimanjaro in the foreground. That was taken on the plane towards Zanzibar. I think the flight was probably the best bit, actually. Zanzibar, it was a bit hot for me, and it was incredibly humid. But yes, 3 nights. It's a very nice island. The people are very friendly, and I just love how blue that water is there. And it's that's called a dhow, isn't it? Sailing on the sea there. And yes, the best part was actually watching the sun go down, and also because it actually got to a temperature which was agreeable. And yes, this is my stupidly big room, and that's it. Bye bye.